Asher can wait. Here we are at the beach, and all I can think about is Grant's sneering face. Once we get to him, what are you gonna do with him? Made up your mind? I have.
Let's get down to business. A whole bunch of doors opened up for us. As usual, we'll be taking the speed test first.
Here we go again. Time to race the clock.
Alright, pair of functions that we've seen previously. Purge, loaded up with something new. And Void, loaded up with Ping.
The clock is ticking.
Let's see what we got here. Bunch of snapshots and a couple of cluckers. So let's take a look at Void. As you can see, it weakens the damage resistance on any process that it affects, and it can be stacked up to 3 times. Its planning cost is low enough that you can almost always get those 3 off. And it applies to damage over time functions in addition to single shot functions. It appears we had a pair of fetches hiding away in the corner. We can just about take care of them with a combination of Void and Purge. We don't need to devote a whole turn to these guys now, given that we just about got rid of them.
That's it.
Having Void as one of your active functions makes planning your turns considerably more simple. More or less always a good idea to triple shoot Void into something, and then start throwing your attacks down. Curiously, whatever that function that's attached to Purge is leaving behind some kind of trail, making Purge some sort of double damage over time machine. Now, Void has a slight area of effect to it, so we want to make sure that we place it just right in order to maximize its utility. One more fetch hiding out in the corner. Thank goodness it somehow lost interest in us for a moment there. Gave us just enough time to get one more turn off.
Short and sweet. It's quiet. Most of the doors are sealed shut.
Oh, we still got plenty of work to do.
Door 2 again. Draw anything good?
Seems like Purge is quite popular today.
Time for some keep away.
We're going to need to take more or less every opportunity to purge these processes. Having them be slowed is going to be enormously helpful. Ping, as I've said in the past, isn't especially powerful, but its extremely low planning cost means that you can use it a whole lot of times. And here's something interesting. Jaunt has been loaded up with Help, which, since it doesn't actually deal damage and therefore can't kill anyone in order to trigger the anti-cell spawning power, will actually leave copies of red behind. This is again very useful, since if we manage to jaunt out of line of sight with any process, they will prioritize the copy. Very good for getting the heat off of us, even if it's just for a moment, since the copy is quite fragile. Looks like that poor little clucker is stuck. As long as it is, and it's not causing any problems for us, I'm plenty content to just leave it alone. Now, unlike previous iterations of the stability test, we really do need to be a bit more aggressive here. Leaving all of these processes alive is a good way to die. We've already managed to lose Jaunt, which, although running away was useful, is not exactly the most useful given all of the long-range attackers we're dealing with here. Going to basically use up a turn retrieving that cell. Don't want it coming back. Oh, and our funny little clucker friend has managed to free himself at long last. Good for him.
Still there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're done. Finally, a little privacy. Let's try 4 again. Just have to hang on longer than they can.
Let's see what we got to start with. Bounce and get. Well, how's about we take out the most we can?
Fight's on.
Looks like get was an alright choice for this first round. Funnily enough, the young lady will get pulled in after teleporting if we hit her with get. So close, but a scant 2 bad cells won't be too big of a problem. Alright, we could take Breach out, but I would like a support function. Or rather, I think I would like a support function, but then I recall that we have to kill the processes in order to win. So, let's take out as much offensive capabilities as we can. Which turned out to be a pretty good idea, since you don't really want to use get on a jerk. Taking back a move to be a bit smarter with my planning potential.
Set.
Gotta make sure to aim right or we're never gonna get anywhere. Alright, 2 down. Well, don't have enough to take Jaunt out, but I'm happy to take out Purge. It's been doing great work for us today. Purge is going to be extremely useful against a jerk in these confined quarters. Even if it's still coming after us, being that slowed down will really diminish its threat. Snapshot's just a little bit out of range. Gotta correct that.
Why not?
Sometimes the turn planning isn't entirely accurate in its projections. And we're just about done. A few more bops on the head for this jerk. We'll finish off this wave. There's no kill like overkill. Well, even with a small boost of memory, can't take anything new out without taking something off. But I would like to take out Load. It's done great work for us in the past. So we'll take off Breach and put it on. Load up the battlefield with packets.
Pretty tough.
Properly baiting processes into them will take care of them very quickly. And now I'm remembering that Load can only be placed directly in front of Red, unless we put it with Breach. So we have to move a little bit forward in order to bring it into range of the jerk. Very nearly taking care of it. Now we have enough to start loading up some support. load is an excellent function to use against young ladies. As I've said in the past, they are extremely vulnerable to single powerful shot functions, and load fits that to a T. Now, the rather skittish nature of these bad cells will mean that load is not quite as useful as it is on their mothers. We'll just take care of it with the quick and clean get.
The crowd goes wild. Good to be home. Door number 4.
Oh, would you look at that? Already given us another performance test. I'm not one to back away from a challenge, so let's see what we got. Well, they're giving us get again, so I'm happy.
Round 1.
That was perhaps not the best idea. It'll be good for the cheerleader, at least.
Go for it.
We're going to have to keep the walls between us and Fetch until further notice. Can't really deal with it in a straight-up fight when we have all of our powers. Much less when we have this limited selection. And it managed to get in an attack from beyond the grave.
What do we got?
Gonna take our first support function. Now this round, Get is gonna do some good work with the cowardly processes. Get everybody in here. And blast them.
Golden.
Oh, would you look at that? Who would have guessed? Let's use it as an upgrade this time. Well, they're certainly going nuts with the cheerleaders for this wave. Unfortunately, Fetch is standing right in front of that cheerleader, so we can only take out these 2 this turn. Alright, now it shouldn't be a problem. Even from such close range, upgrading Get with Purge will greatly increase its damage. Narrowly avoiding taking a double shot right to the face. He instead smashed them to pieces. Alright, time for something new. We're going to make load a passive. Once every 10 seconds or so, it will spawn out a full-sized packet. And if we can aim carefully and get everybody in here, we can take advantage of that something fierce.
Back in business.
Now, given that the cheerleader will be dead before our turn is out, we can get a shot in on the snapshot. I am going to continuously make the mistake of not allowing Mask to fully recharge between rounds. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to be too big of an issue. Now that fetch managed to cloak itself just before we activated our turn, so not going to be able to interact with it. Yet another golden example of why I really don't like these dogs. Pulling everybody into me and then setting off a series of sparks is going to be something I carry with me back into reality. Given the bright flashing colors and the nice explosions, I started referring to the little trick as party time.
Out.
And as usual, fetch is way more of an issue than it really ought to be. It's far more powerful of a damage dealer than snapshot and has more than twice its health. Really not a balanced opponent. trying to counter its hunting cloak with one of my own.
Go. More to work with.
Getting down near to the end here. We can now take out Crash, Bounce, and Help. I think we're going to err on the side of quantity.
This is the last wave.
As we saw back in the loadout, since Get was overloaded, we permanently lost access to it here. And Purge as well, unlike back in reality. There's a much higher level of risk in the performance test than there is back out in Cloudbank. We really need to take extra caution if we want to keep our good stuff.
Got every last one of them. We keep coming back to this one spot.
And at long last, all of the doors are shut.
Hiya, Luna. Who's a good girl?
Okay. Time to get back out there.
Camerata's getting nervous right about now.